Hello students, our next topic is privatization under the new economic reform policies since 1991. The privatization means denationalization of government sector and allowing more and more private sector in the operation and the ownership of production units. Uh, it is next to the liberalization. When the when we adopt liberalization, yeah, liberty, we loses the government loses some control or the major role control from his hand to private hands. So privatization is generally is the procedure that reduces the intervention of public sector in the economic activities, and it gives liberty to the private hands to rise the production and make it profitably. So in the privatization, uh, the national resource owned and utilized by the private sector also as per the need. But after the 1991, the India strongly realized that it was a time to give private hands opportunity to involve more and more in the economic growth. In this privatization, the three steps were taken. First was disinvestment. Disinvestment means sale of shares of public sector or public unit to the private sector. The 232 enterprises which was owned by the government, and all these, majority of this, maximum of these ventures were in the loss. So government disinvest from this unit. The next was denationalizing. Denationalizing means decentralizing, breaking the bonds of nationalization and handing over the public units to the private sector. And the third is setting new manufacturing units under the private sector. In 1996, government chose 9 sectors and declared them Navratna companies or 9 pearls. In the 9 pearls were in the court of Vikramaditya, and these 9 companies were taken as a Navratna. And government only took a control on a few industries like railway, atomic energy, atomic minerals mining, and one more, and rest of all was given in the private sector. In a 1956 industrial policy, you have learned that 27 ventures were in the control of public sector and 12 were given under the private sector. But after the 40 years, 1991, the maximum ventures were given in the private hands, and even the 17 Navratnas of the private sectors were Bharat Heavy Electricals, Bharat Petroleum Corporation, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation, Mahanagar Telephone Nigam, Power Grid Corporation of India, National Mining Development Corporation of India, National Rural Aluminium Companies, Rural Electrification Corporation, Shipping Corporation of India, Oil India Limited, etc. were 17 Navrats in the company, and these Navrats company are able to take the investment decision up to 1000 crore rupees without approval of the government. So the Navratna companies where the private sector companies became private sector companies, and they were authorized to take a decision of their own to make the investment decision up to the 1000 crore rupees. And there was 7 Maharatna companies, and these Maharatna companies were given liberty to make the investment of 5000 crore rupees without the government approval. The 7 Maharatna companies are ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation of India Corporation, NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation, SAIL, Steel Authority of India, IOC, Indian Oil Corporation, Coal India Limited, BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electricals, GAIL, GAIL India Limited, and other than this, many measures were adopted for the privatization. If we go one by one, first is reduction of the number of reserved public sector units. From 17, it was reduced to 4. That was atomic energy, defense, and atomic mineral mining, and railway transportation. And by the coming of 2015 and onwards, now we have seen that railway is also given privatization. And the privatization is also started in the railway. On some routes, private trains are running, though they are under the supervision of railway government. And in the defense also, the Rafale latest one and other one, in this private investment is also welcomed, or we have started the private investment in the defense also, but only in the atomic energy and atomic mineral mining. The government holds the control, and rest of all are under the privatization. We have started their privatization. The next one is disinvestment in the public sector undertaking. The ventures or the venues or enterprises which were under the public sector controls and they were suffering from the loss, the government sold them and hand over them to the private sectors, and the management controlled by the private sectors was ultimately giving profit right now. The next step taken under the privatization was increase in the share of private sector. Now, before these reforms, the privatized sector was contributing 43% in the GDP. Now, it increased to the 63%. The share of the private sector increased in the economy by 63, and it is growing on and on. More and more it is growing right now. One more step taken under the privatization was the government decided not to convert corporate loans into shares. Suppose one example, right now we are hearing from the different news that this industrial family is in the loss, and some are under the bankrupt conditions. It means Anil Ambani, Subrata Sahara, sometime we come to know that Mukesh Ambani, and sometime the other big, even the Tata, industries are under the loan or loss. So the government is not converting their loans or loss into share and selling it in the public. The government is giving chance to that industrial family to overcome from that loan. If they became bankrupt, then also there is an opportunity to come and start a new business. And so the cooperative loans are not converted into the shares. And by this provision, the private sector relaxed and take initiatives for the restart and refreshing their business. The next was corporatization. Corporatization means establishment of the boards like railway boards, electricity boards, and there are so many boards. In these boards, government, public department like railway and others are converted into the public corporations, and they were given some autonomy to take their own decisions. The government is not interfering there, and it will make the private body to operate and make it profitable cooperatives. So the starting of the corporations was also important for this globalization and privatization and liberalization. If we talk about the merits of privatization, it decreases the excess and unwanted burden from the government, and the government give this energy in the transformation of the economic growth and making the strategies of making the policies for economic growth instead of paying the attention on the management of the public sector. Control of the poor performance giving industries was given to the private sector, and the private sector with their sharp management turned that ventures into profit. The next was the high handleness of the bureaucracy was relaxed, or promotion of the foreign direct investment was one of the main merit of this privatization. If we talk about the two things, liberalization and privatization. So the difference between liberalization and privatization means liberalization means freedom from the restrictions, non-interference of the government in the economic activities, whereas privatization means freedom of ownership of assets and business. Liberalization makes the business free from rules, procedures, restrictions, instructions, whereas privatization promotes personal control and management over the business. Liberalization widens the scopes of business, and whereas privatization restricts the management of business into the few hands. Liberalization makes the privatization easy. The privatization is the second outcome of the liberalization. First, liberalization will make the support to the privatization. Though both are interrelated, but from the starting is liberalization, and the liberalizing promotes the privatization. Privatization then again in a cyclic form promotes the globalization, and that globalization promotes again liberalization. That is a cyclic, but the cycle starts from liberalization. Our next topic is globalization.